That's the great thing about the California musical experience, is that it is truly American in its genesis, and that's what the barn dance always had at its center. I think is a sense of 20th century kind of expressionism. You know, late 20th century expressionism, post World War II, Corvette Stingray, Jet Age, you know, hillbilly music. I recorded a song on my new album, Population Me. It's titled The Late Great Golden State, written by Mike Stinson. It's also on his album. He was gracious enough to allow me to, you know, cover it. And I fell in love with that song the minute I heard it. The title of it, you know, captured my imagination, but completely fell in love with the song because of its references to the Palomino. It's like I had one last glimpse of the Palomino when I drove out west to see the Purple Sage, and as the canyons burned and the mountains crumbled, the last cowboy band left the stage.
The Palomino was the most famous joint on the West Coast. I mean, it was the stop in the day. You know, Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard, I mean, Buck Owens, I mean, everybody that was anybody played there. Anybody new coming to town, you'd see them there. I mean, it was the first stop. However you got to town, then if you were here to play music and you were of that genre, you went there. If you got there on Thursday, you were there on Monday.
The Palomino, going back to the 50s and 60s, was the hotbed. The Palomino, next to the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, was the second most important building in country music probably in the world. You know, the Ryman Auditorium, where the Grand Ole Opry, of course, was since the very beginning, up until they started the new one in the 70s or so. But the Palomino, next to that Ryman Auditorium, was the second most important building for country music.
The Palomino used to have a hoot night. And when I first came here, I mean, it was a legendary open mic sit-in night. Whoever was running the house band would run that. It's a local community on a national stage, and you know, we can kind of be lost in the wings until one of us gets out there in the footlights for a moment, and it's Los Lobos or the Blasters or myself, or even, prior to that, Emmylou Harris or, you know, Linda Ronstadt. He does it for love. I mean, I am not really guessing in saying that. I intuitively just know, you know, he loves. I've watched him watch music. I've stood with him in the wings and watched him watch another performer, and he's watching it as a fan. He does it because he loves music.